2 years ago, my cousin and I wrote a short film based on the story of our grandmother who's severely ill with Alzheimer. Now that the movie is being screened in festivals worldwide, I thought it'd be a good time to share with you the inspiration behind the score, as it's charged with symbolism and it has a lot of meaning to me. So follow me and let's explore the music of Maiulidis Katastimo. There's not much music in the movie that doesn't come from the actual screen. There is, however, at the very end, a cue, and that's the one I wanted to talk about today. The song has two parts. The first one is us singing to our grandmother. This idea I got from a day that we went to visit her with my dad in the elderly care. And my dad was singing to her in this soothing and calm tone. And it was such a tender and beautiful moment to see my dad singing to his mother as if she was a baby, that I thought I'd try to capture that tenderness into the music. And so I had us humming Silent Night, which is a piece that keeps appearing throughout the story. I find humming to be very intimate as it comes from the inside, and it's sort of like inwards as opposed to singing. But I also wanted to find a way for the piano to hum along and not be too intrusive. So I found these three notes very close to each other, F, G, A, and the frequencies clash with one another, and it sounds almost like the piano is humming as well. It's so beautiful. So no much more to the first part. That takes us to the second bit, which is where things get a bit more interesting musically. Now we're going into my grandma's perspective and think, how would she perceive this song that we are humming to her? And so the music is the whole time and deliberately trying to mislead you into thinking that you're hearing Silent Night, but instead, it deviates constantly. It takes you to unfamiliar territory, giving you this sense of confusion, of not knowing where you are, which is how I imagine my grandma not only perceives music, but perceives the whole world as a familiar place that somehow feels totally strange. And so, instead of having your normal melody that we all know, straight away, it changes. So you have no idea what you're hearing. You thought it was Silent Night, but it isn't. Oh, but it's Silent Night again. But it sounds strange. You're not sure anymore. We keep going on and off the song. It's also harmonized different to make you feel in a place of unfamiliarity. And so there's this sadness surrounding the piece as well, that climaxes at this very G minor 7th with the 9th on the melody. Such a beautiful chord. I wrote this bit in Singapore in a public piano, and I finished it in Australia at a friend's house. And I was going through a breakup at the time, and I think some of that sadness might have slipped into this song. But it wasn't wrong, because at the end it's the same feeling that I'm trying to convey. It's this feeling of loss of a partner, loss of a grandmother who has ceased to exist. Is no longer like I used to know her, she's no longer there. So you'll hear that this whole cue has a pinch of romanticism that shows especially when we get here. And now we go back to a place that could be Silent Night, but again, it isn't really. And we end right back where we started with this F9th. That sounds like humming. So, you can find the whole track on Spotify. Thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed these explanations. See you soon.